My dear listeners, this is an original sci-fi story I wrote for you. If you'd like to support me, just subscribe to the channel. It really helps the growth. Dr. Hannah Cross recognized the sound of dying. 23 years as a trauma surgeon had taught her that the sound crawling toward her clinic door carried all the rhythms of death. A Kryn soldier lay in her doorway, trailing dark blue blood. 3 meters of muscle and silver scales, black eyes holding no mercy. The Kryn were the galaxy's most feared mercenaries. They killed their own wounded rather than leave them behind. Please, he rasped in broken standard. Hannah's scanner read catastrophic damage. I'll do what I can. Not me. He shifted, revealing a small form with soft silver scales and terrified black eyes. My son. His spine. Shattered vertebrae. The cub would never walk properly. Never hunt. And Kryn killed cubs who couldn't hunt. Please, the soldier repeated. Humans keep broken things. I watched you save the Velkin child with no legs. You gave her wheels. She smiled. His breathing failed. Kryn don't smile. We kill weakness. But maybe Ash could. He died before finishing. The cub, Ash, made a sound Hannah had never heard from a Kryn. A whimper. She should have called the Kryn military. Protocol demanded it. They'd send a cleanup crew, collect their dead, and mercifully terminate the injured cub. Instead, Hannah lifted Ash onto her operating table. The surgery took 11 hours. When she finished, Ash would live. He'd have function in his upper body. But his legs would never support his weight again. Never carry him in the hunts that defined Kryn adulthood. Commander Thex arrived 3 days later, all 3 meters of barely controlled violence. You have our property. I have my patient. Hannah blocked the recovery room door. The cub is defective. Kryn law demands termination. Human law protects refugees under my care. He's a genetic dead end, not a refugee. Thex's disgust was palpable. We don't waste resources on the weak. Quick death is mercy. Mercy. Hannah's voice went cold. Killing a child is mercy? What do you call forcing him to live as a cripple? He'll never hunt, fight, or contribute. I call it giving him a choice. What he does with his life is up to him. Thex gestured to his soldiers. We'll return with authorization. Hannah had 3 weeks before they returned. She spent them teaching Ash to live. The cub woke angry and trapped. Let them take me, he snarled. I'm dead already. Kryn who can't hunt aren't Kryn. You're Kryn who can't walk. Not the same as can't live. What life? I'm worthless. Hannah pulled up a chair. Let me tell you about humans who achieved incredible things despite disabled bodies. She taught him history, problem-solving, tactical analysis. She built him a support frame for mobility. And slowly, grudgingly, Ash began to learn. When the Kryn military returned with legal authorization, they found Ash in the clinic's garden, using his support frame to navigate the paths Hannah had made accessible. He was teaching the Velkin girl, the one with wheels, how to solve a tactical puzzle Hannah had designed. Thex watched in silence. You still want to kill him? Hannah asked quietly. I want to understand why you'd burden yourself with a defective. He's not defective. He's different. And I'm not burdened. She searched for words. I'm invested. That's what humans do. We see potential, not just current utility. Potential for what? He'll never be a warrior. No. He'll be something else. Thex departed without taking Ash. The authorization allowed it, but didn't require it. For the first time in Kryn history, a defective cub lived past culling age. 12 years passed. Hannah watched Ash grow into something the Kryn had no name for. He couldn't hunt, but he could think 3 moves ahead of anyone she'd ever met. He couldn't fight, but he understood tactics better than most generals. He moved through the world on wheels and support frames, his powerful upper body compensating for legs that would never work right. He was 18 when the crisis came. A terrorist group took hostages at the colony's central hub, 217 people, including 30 children. The building was a maze of corridors and rooms. Local security was overwhelmed. The Kryn military deployed their best tactical team. They were slaughtered in the first breach attempt. Commander Thex, now gray around the muzzle, came to Hannah's clinic personally. "We need Ash." Ash looked up from the engineering schematics he'd been studying. "Why?" "Because every warrior we send dies. The terrorists know how predators think. They're hunting us in there." Thex's voice carried something Hannah had never heard from a Kryn: humility. "But you don't think like a predator." "I think like prey," Ash said quietly. "Yes, and right now we need that." Ash worked for 6 hours straight, analyzing building plans, hostage positions, terrorist patterns. He didn't think about aggressive breach tactics or overwhelming force. He thought about patience, misdirection, and understanding fear, both the hostages and the terrorists. When the rescue operation launched, it followed Ash's plan. Negotiation teams to keep terrorists focused, subtle evacuation of hostages through ventilation routes Ash identified, pressure applied at unexpected angles. Not a hunter's assault, but a survivor's careful strategy. All 217 hostages were recovered. The terrorists surrendered when they realized they'd been outmaneuvered not by superior force, but by superior thinking. Commander Thex stood in the operations center afterward, watching Ash coordinate the final phases of evacuation. "He saved them," Thex said. "A defective cub saved what our best warriors couldn't." "He's not defective," Hannah corrected. "He's exactly what he needed to be." Thex was silent for a long moment. "We were wrong. The Kryn were wrong. For 10,000 years, we killed cubs like him because we couldn't see past our own definitions of strength. And now we have to learn what you tried to teach us." He looked at Hannah. "That mercy isn't weakness. That different doesn't mean worthless. That sometimes the ones we think are broken are the only ones who can fix what's truly damaged." Within a year, Kryn protocols changed. Cubs who couldn't hunt weren't automatically culled. They were evaluated for other contributions: engineering, logistics, tactical analysis, medical support. The culture that had valued only one kind of strength began, slowly, to recognize others. Ash became the first Kryn strategic advisor to the Frontier Alliance, his wheeled frame and support equipment a symbol of revolution. That value couldn't be measured by physical capability alone. Hannah stood beside him at his inauguration, watching the Kryn who'd once demanded his death now salute him with respect. "You gave me more than my life," Ash said quietly. "You gave me the chance to choose what my life meant." Hannah smiled. "That's what humans do. We don't save people because they're useful. We save them because they're people. Everything else comes after." Ash raised his head, his black eyes meeting hers with warmth that no Kryn should have been capable of. But then, he'd been raised by a human who believed that compassion wasn't weakness, that mercy wasn't waste, and that the broken, if given the chance, could teach the whole to see differently. And sometimes that was the greatest strength of all.